first is Cale's senior presentation. Before the Cyclones dual meet with Nebraska, Iowa State's 5 seniors were introduced to the crowd. Cale was introduced last.
Our final Cyclone senior really needs no introduction. The numbers tell the story. 150 wins, no losses, 3 NCAA 184-pound titles, the only 3-time outstanding wrestler of the NCAA championship, the only man to win the Hodge Trophy as the nation's top collegiate wrestler twice, the defending U.S. and World Team Trials freestyle champion. Wins aside, when the World Team Championships were postponed because of the September 11th tragedies, he elected to forego his initial foray on the world stage to compete for Iowa State and build on an unblemished collegiate record. Twice an academic All-American, he graduated in December of 2001 with a bachelor's degree in art and design and is taking graduate classes. His parents, Steve and Debbie, hoped to be in attendance today, but at Cale's urging, they are at home in Utah watching the youngest Sanderson, Kyler, in the Utah State High School Championship Finals. Accompanied today by brother Cody and his fiancée, Kelly Kennard, is the man who has set a new standard of on-mat excellence in collegiate wrestling with a grace that has truly transcended his sport. Cale Sanderson. Ladies and gentlemen, more than 500 victories for your Cyclone seniors.
I want to taste my beer, but I can't.
Every year, thousands suffer from taste loss. Look for the clues. Does your buddy smack his lips incessantly? Does your boyfriend act fidgety? Or do emotional outbursts come at inopportune times?
Why are you doing this to me?
Get the facts at PreventTasteLoss.com and protect yourself with great-tasting Miller Lite, with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs.
I've held it inside for so long.
Miller, good call.
Richie， 我要你啊！顧住嗰個人，我唔信得過佢啊！
Yo, Ty, what up?
Richie, what up, player?
爺爺，係你叫我唔好判人㗎，你記唔記得啊？記唔記得
How you doing, son?
All right, man.
I'm chilling, of course. You're gonna be there, right? Yeah, gotta play ball.
Imagine the power of one voice. Click freedomcenter.org to find yours.
He's become a legend in his own time. He's Cale Sanderson, and he's being called the greatest college wrestler ever. Yet there's more to Cale than wrestling, and now you can purchase this Emmy Award-winning one-hour documentary for $34.95 by calling 1-800-873-2730 or online at iptv.org/wrestling. Enjoy this unique program, Cale Sanderson, Portrait of a Champion, by ordering today.
Hello, I'm Barry Sanders from Oklahoma State, and you're watching College Sports TV.
The
Cavalier logs on for the highlights. Sebastian logs on for the news and scores. And Uga logs on for the great gear. Get as inside as they are without roaming the sideline. Log on to collegesports.com, your #1 online source, giving you more college sports action than anyone else. More live college sports with unlimited access to thousands of games with College Sports Pass. Follow the game in real time with Game Tracker. You'll find it at collegesports.com, where the Chief will find you.
In 1999, Cale was a freshman when he wrestled Mark Munoz, a sophomore of Oklahoma State. Munoz later became a two-time All-American for the Cowboys, winning the 2001 NCAA title as a senior.
Mark Munoz, #6 ranked sophomore from Vallejo, California, versus #2, Cael Sanderson. He just keeps climbing the ladder, Dan. Undefeated, 22-0. Freshman.
Comes right at you. They're already on the ref. Cyclone fans, they want some winners. And they've got a couple here young, and they got more than that, but a couple undefeated ones that they're going to see a lot more of. So, you know, they get pretty vocal when one of those boys get out there, Heskett or Cael Sanderson.
If you've just joined us, we're in the last match of the evening between the meet of Oklahoma State and Iowa State. We're here at Hilton Coliseum. We're at 184 pounds, where Oklahoma State's #6 ranked Mark Munoz is going up against #2 ranked Cael Sanderson, undefeated freshman for the Cyclones. The score is Oklahoma State 24, Iowa State 10. We're at the last match with Cael Sanderson trying to keep his record perfect to 23-0, but he's got to go up against a highly ranked wrestler in Munoz.
Doing a good job of playing that edge. Doing a good job, but Munoz is keeping the far ankle. But he's got some long arms. He hasn't given no points yet. No, crowd's getting a little upset, but it's a good call so far. Unless you want to call him for fleeing the mat, which he really isn't. But you could get a home call maybe.
Well, they call nothing. They bring him back to the center. Cael Sanderson, who was a 4-time state champion in Utah, was also named the nation's top prep wrestler at 171 pounds by Amateur Wrestling News in 1997. Proving it out this. It was a great investment by Bobby Douglas for getting the Sanderson family. That was a great home call he made a few years ago when he first brought Cody to town.
Certainly. You got to zero in on those older ones if they got younger ones coming up, if they're pretty good.
I'm sure just a few years ago, everybody knew who Cael Sanderson was. That must have been quite a high school team that Steve Sanderson was coaching when all three of them were on the team at the same time. It's 2-0 takedown for Cael Sanderson.
He gets right in on that heavy foot, hangs for just for a second and reaches for the far one, picking it up, comes around the waist. Munoz looked like kind of gave up the whizzer there. I didn't really figure that one out.
Would you explain what heavy foot? Does he have one shoe that weighs more than the other, or what? I mean, what's a heavy foot?
You mean you got your weight on your heels instead of on your toes, and instead of being in motion, you're flat-footed and just a lot of weight. You shouldn't have a lot of weight on your feet when you're wrestling. You should have motion and bounce and be ready to move. And if a guy shoots, you pick your leg up and react. And it was a good job of shooting, but at the same time, it was not a good job of reacting by Munoz.
Cover. It's Dan Gable, my partner and expert commentator here, giving you his reasons for Cael Sanderson's success on his feet right there, catching Munoz for a 2-point takedown.
Cradle him up.
Whoa, and that's tight, Dan.
And he's got him.
Tight.
Boy, I'll tell you, he threw that thing quick. This is what we're talking about. There's a possibility, right? There's not much time left. He got him over a little bit farther. If he could just roll him back. And he slipped off.
Was able to slip through right there.
This is tough. He slammed that on there. I mean, he wasn't out of position, but 1/10 of a second, he slammed that cradle on.
Here we go again.
Yeah, here it is. He comes up, boom. He takes that head right to the knee. Doesn't take any time at all. Stacks him right up, and he's looking for that fall. Gets a little bit far over, and he has to come back, and that's what cost him probably from getting the pin. hanging down, riding those ankles, not getting too high, then moving up and giving the intention of release, actually. Another shot right back in. He's not really setting up his shot. He's shooting when Munoz is moving backwards. That's why he's not actually penetrating as well. You want to get the guy coming to you, but I tell you can't take anything away from him just because he doesn't use a correct setup. He makes up for what he doesn't do correctly by just hustling and getting after it.
Boy, he gets after it. He's a hard get-after-it type of wrestler. He's one of those that some wrestlers you hang around and it's not that tough to wrestle. You may get beat bad, but they're not that tough to wrestle. This would be a tough 7 minutes, Cael Sanderson, no matter who you are.
Not only that, but you win the referee over because you just don't have a lot of time to breathe with him, and you got to stay on top of your game.
Go neutral.
And he's already lost the point for stalling. I know Oklahoma State wasn't real happy with the call, but Sanderson made 2 or 3 shots in a row, and that's how you get a stalling call, when you do 2 or 3 things in a row, or 4 or 5, or whatever you need. Just get it done.
It's techniques and tactics, right?
Exactly. You want to win somebody over, you prove them that you're doing what they want to see to make that call.
Cael Sanderson up 6-1. A minute left in the second period. We're at Hilton Coliseum. Iowa State, Oklahoma State dual meet. Cowboys ranked #1 in the country, and they're going to leave #1 in the country. Iowa State ranked #4. Some good things have happened for the Cyclones tonight in this loss. Their freshmen are wrestling well. Joe Heskett stayed undefeated, and Cael Sanderson here, another undefeated freshman, on his way to the NWCA All-Star meet as well. Leading the Cyclone charge, but it came up short tonight. But they're trying to make it a little bit closer in this last match. It's 24-10. Oklahoma State leading in the final match.
Don't forget about Cole Sanderson's. He had a great victory over Reggie Wright, undefeated wrestler for Oklahoma State at 149.
Yep, that was a big match that Cole Sanderson won tonight. There's an attempt by Munoz to score.
Wow. That was not a good call. He wiped it off.
Here's from the dual stand, the same 2 wrestling, and Sanderson beating Munoz. There you go. So he's been flat-footed both times.
And he rados him up here again.
Let's join hands now, come along to a place we all belong. People, let's get together.
Last year, 1 million people, enough to stretch from the Gulf of Mexico to the Grand Canyon, switched their car insurance to Allstate. Why? People saved an average of $338 a year. Out to save America some money. That's Allstate, Stan. Are you in good hands?
Let's join hands now, come along.
Watching CSTV, college sports television. More college sports than any other network.
Quick, in the top 5 water polo players in the world. Okay, how about 1? Yeah. I didn't start playing water polo to get famous. And the same goes for being a biology major. I like working in protein chemistry. Quick, in the top 5 protein chemists in the world.
There are over 360,000 NCAA student athletes, and just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
A leader in disaster relief, Mercy Corps is rushing aid to victims of the Asian tsunamis. Millions of people need help now to recover from the worst disaster in modern times. Families and children who survived the tsunamis face disease and homelessness. Your donation will save lives. Help provide life-changing assistance to victims of the Asian tsunamis. Restore their hope. It begins with you. Please call Mercy Corps at 1-800-766-1100 today.
Report. Roger, understood.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. 101.
Escape. Escape. A wrestler from the bottom position
Breaks away from the offensive wrestler.
Takedown.
Takedown.
From a neutral position, a wrestler gains control, forcing their opponent to the mat. Pin. When a wrestler's back is in contact. When a wrestler's back is in contact with the mat for 1 second.
Today at 3, CSTV's Rivalry Series, presented by Bud Light, Pennant Cornell.
Now you know the lingo. Now you know the lingo. Use it.
It's going to go optional. Cover.
Munoz deciding to start the third period and letting Sanderson to his feet so they can go from the feet. He doesn't want to be on the mat with Sanderson. Sees no reason to be there because he can't turn him.
That was a good move there, but Munoz come out of it. Doing a good job of squaring those hips. Trying to get an angle there. Sanderson's doing a good job of continuing to square into him, stay square, because if you let the guy get an angle there, could be in trouble.
Let's go up. Break it.
Close matches, both ways, going both ways through this meet. This is the last match, and with things going a little bit differently for the Cyclones, this could have been the meet decider right here, but Oklahoma State found ways to make it different. At heavyweight, they had a big pin early in the meet, and then they were able to win the close one against Maldonado, Oklahoma State was, and they right now lead 24-10. As a team, they're going to win their 60th straight dual meet.
Yeah, the way it looked like, you know, I felt like this could have been the match that decided the meet if some breaks went Iowa State's way. And guys like this he's making his breaks. He's right back in on that low shot, and he gave him a takedown. Thought that was a good call. You had him for about a half a second there, and then Munoz pulled his leg out, but you don't need him too long.
Well, and what you're saying, Dan, is that the takedown was there. He just may have been a split second late in indicating it, but it didn't mean that the takedown wasn't there. So he went ahead, he called what was right, and a good call by Bill Rose, the official. It takes a good official to not let the crowd intimidate him from making right calls or waving off wrong calls.
We're neutral.
He's got a major.
Center.
Got riding time. He's got a minute 43 riding time with only 15 seconds to go in the match. This would give Iowa State another 4 points.
Here's Munoz trying to keep it from being a major. If he can get the takedown there, but he's not going to be able to. A major decision gives 4 more points for Iowa State. 24-14, the final score between the Oklahoma State Cowboys and the Iowa State Cyclones here at Hilton Coliseum. That's a big win for Cael Sanderson, goes 23-0 over number 6 ranked Mark Munoz. So an excellent wrestler from the Cowboys goes down for the second time in 3 days to Sanderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rodney Dangerfield. It's the ultimate no-respect collection from the legendary Rodney Dangerfield.
I tell you, I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape, you know? Last week I told my wife, a man is like wine, he gets better with age. She locked me in the cellar. I'll tell you my trouble, got the wrong doctor. You know my doctor, Dr. Vinnie Boombaster, my doctor. And I saw him last week. I told him, Doc, every day I wake up, I look in the mirror, I want to throw up. What's wrong with me? He said, I don't know, but your eyesight is perfect. Oh, my wife. Oh, one night she told me she felt romantic. I took her to a drive-in movie. I spent the whole night trying to find out what car she was in. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? I know I'm ugly. I asked the bartender to make me a zombie. Told me God beat him to it. I mean, that's the story of my life. No respect. I don't got no respect at all. Oh, I was arrested for jaywalking. The crowd kept yelling, don't take him alive. It's the same thing when I was a kid, no respect. The time my old man took me to the zoo, they thanked him for returning me.
He was a comedy legend, and now you can own the best of Rodney on 3 digitally remastered DVDs for the unbelievably low price of just $49.99 plus shipping and handling. Over 8 hours of unforgettable laughs and entertainment with Bill Murray, Andy Kaufman, Jeff Foxworthy, Roseanne, and many more.
What a childhood I had. My mother never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend.
And And as an extra special bonus, you get the rare collectible bootleg version of Rodney's legendary act, taped live and uncensored in Vegas.
I told him I want a bubble bath. He brought the water to a boil.
Order now during the special TV offer, and for a limited time, save $10. That's right, now you can bring home the best of Rodney Dangerfield on DVD, all for just $39.99. To order, call 1-800-862-9339 or go online to Rodney.com and get Rodney Dangerfield's Ultimate No Respect collection today.
TV, no lockouts, just hockey.
Late in the 2000 season, Cale, a sophomore, met Nebraska's Charles McTorrey, a junior for the Cornhuskers. Cale's career record then stood at 70-0.
But this is the man.
Well,
right
good isn't good enough in this case, is it?
He had a 71-0 or whatever his record is at this point, and what a... I just can't say enough about what I've seen from Cale Sanderson here. In on a single leg attempt, McTorrey coming back through. Crowd gets excited right away when this guy steps on the mat.
Cale Sanderson, as we've talked, is undefeated in his college career at Iowa State. He's only a sophomore and already has won 70-some matches against no defeats to a collegiate. And, whoa.
Looks like McTorrey might have hurt something there.
Cale Sanderson always seems so at ease with himself. Here's the takedown.
Here's the takedown attempt. Comes in off. He gets as low for somebody in that weight class as I've seen, and that may have been where he hurt his leg right there. That maybe his left hamstring there.
No, I did not give him one.
No escape given there. I think that was mainly because McTorrey didn't turn and face at the edge of the mat.
Good call, Jim. That's why McTorrey is still down. The score is 2-0, and there was not an escape. Cale Sanderson on top. And now there is an escape, one for Charles McTorrey, who's out of Nashville, Tennessee.
Yep, and you don't find many Tennessee wrestlers wrestling in college, Tennessee high school wrestlers, so this is a pretty good accomplishment for this young man to come from not a traditionally strong wrestling state and be out here ranked number 6 in the country. Like I said, a single leg attempt here, great job of finishing, keeping the leg high and works in for the far trip.
Cale Sanderson wrestling in front of his parents tonight, who are in town as they are very often to watch their 3 sons wrestle, but it's a special night tonight as Cody Sanderson, their senior son, is wrestling his last match on the Iowa State mat.
And I think McTorrey, that first flurry might have, because it's way too early in this match.
Well, there's Debbie and Steve Sanderson, all the way from Utah, as they come often to watch their sons.
We were talking to Tim Newman before the meet, and he did mention that McTorrey did have a little bit of a nerve problem in his neck coming into this, so he hasn't really had a full week of practice. Only had like two days of hard training and competition. So, but he was insistent on going out here and wrestling Sanderson, so you have to give him credit.
Down.
So this is an old injury here.
And it's probably one of those that, you know, you can't hurt anymore. It just hurts.
Yeah.
He's out for escape. 4-2 in favor of Sanderson. In on the leg.
And I tell you what I love watching Sanderson do is look at his feet. I mean, they're a constant motion. I mean, if you watch him when he's wrestling, he's just always moving his feet. He's just stalking, and he's getting the angles on his opponent. And
have you seen many? You know, he kind of reminds me of Dave Schultz in a way, and the way he looks when he's out there, because he just looks like
Mark Schultz.
And he just looks like, though, I'm loving this. He says, I'm loving this. And you're right. He's stalking his opponent.
Moves his feet real well, and you can see him getting up here. He wants his opponent to present himself, okay? Don't lay on your stomach, and that's why he's letting him go. And sometimes it's easier to take your opponent to their back from the takedown position here, and that's where.
3 of them. We've seen 3 takedowns and 3 escapes. 3 takedowns for Sanderson, 3 escapes for McTorrey. Sanderson, of course, we mentioned Utah, from Heber City, Utah, Wasatch High School. He's one of the captains as well for the Iowa State Cyclones, and he just got his 4th takedown. Makes the score 8-3 in the first period in favor of the Cyclone. #1 ranked undefeated wrestler.
And I tell you one other thing, Tim, that's unique about Cael Sanderson is he disguises his shot so well. You don't know whether he's coming with his right leg forward or his left leg forward.
You were showing me that earlier as we were looking at some film.
Watch him right now. He's got his right leg forward. He's going to switch it off and then go to the attack. And that's unbelievable. It just frustrates guys who wrestle him. He's showing you the right leg, and then all of a sudden he makes the switch on you. He's right back in on a technique.
Wow, he's driving. He's looking. He's got 2 points for a takedown. Whoa.
He's off the mat. I believe the shoulders are off the mat, but look at him working back inside there. Ooh, that's tight. Woo.
Now he reverses the half.
Oh, what a time.
We've got 3.
Look at him. He's not breathing.
He's just saying that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
14-4 at the end of the first period. Now there was a stall warning in there in that flurry. Another warning, now 1, because he got a warning for stalling, then he just gave McTorrey another warning for not returning immediately to the center to start the second period.
Yep.
Here's the move.
Here's the technique. He drops in, goes low on the ankle, and he goes right into that cradle. You know he's probably been watching his teammate's technique, Joe Heskett, how effective he has been with the cradle. Got the nice power half in there. Now he's working him around. He's careful not to go out. He always knows where he is on the mat.
Here we are in the start in the second period. Jim, I think you insinuated, and I think we're seeing there's a big difference between the #1 ranked wrestler in this weight class and #6. Probably in #2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, you know.
I think there's a big difference between this #1 ranked wrestler and the rest of the #1 ranked wrestlers.
That's a strong statement. You heard it from Jim Gibbons, a #1 ranked wrestler in his own when he wrestled for Iowa State. Cael Sanderson, 15-5, the second period, 1.5 minutes left over Charles McTorrey from Nebraska. He's you know, what's really happening here is Cael Sanderson's got him on the run.
Yeah,
he's running.
And I tell you feel a little bit for McTorrey. I mean, here's wanted to wrestle the #1 ranked wrestler and defending national champion. He is a little bit banged up there. He did have some neck problems going into this match, and it's not, you know, somebody who puts out 20+ wins during a season here is not getting tired here 3-4 minutes into the match. I promise you that. He's just having a hard time probably dealing with the pain a little bit too.
Yeah, you're right. He's got a debilitating injury right here. It's just hurting.
It doesn't help with that front quarter Nelson being applied to it.
That's the 15 points right there. That's a 5-point victory. There's the Sanderson parents. And that's the end.
2 for takedown.
2 for stalling, 2 for takedown. That's why we got up to that 15.
Yeah, and I think that's probably
it was probably a mercy thing there by the referee. And the win for Cael Sanderson makes the score now 11 for Iowa State, 3 for Nebraska.
You got to come see this guy wrestle. If you get a chance to see him wrestle, I think he's just one of the more dynamic wrestlers of our time.
I can't taste my beer. I can't taste my beer.
I can't taste my beer. Every year, thousands suffer from taste loss in silence, and the results are devastating.
I can't taste my beer.
There is hope, thanks to great tasting, less filling Miller Lite, with more taste than Bud Light and half the carbs.
I can taste my beer.
Get the facts at PreventTasteLoss.com, because taste loss isn't your fault. Ignoring it is. Miller, good call.
Pop quiz for you. In what movie did I play a gang leader struggling in school? Who was my teacher? What did I learn in math class? Oh, and here's one about you. What did your kid learn in math class today?
Know what really matters. Know about your kid's school. And know about your kid. Find out 100 ways to know more, do more.
Iowa Public Television is the leader in college wrestling programming, with 27 years of producing quality telecasts. And now you can purchase IPTV's top duels and most exciting matches by calling 1-800-873-2730 or online at iptv.org/wrestling. Tapes are just $19.95 each, with discounts for multiple purchases.